Alright, let's take a look at this new IntelliJ tooling for Errai. I'm going to start off by creating a new Errai UI template class, which I'll simply call my template. Now, all Errai UI template classes need to have the templated annotation on them, so we'll go ahead and add that. You'll see that immediately with the new Errai tooling, we immediately get an error message here. Suggesting that the templated bean must extend composite. We can actually go ahead and fix this automatically with a quick fix, which the plugin provides, but we're still left with this one error. Could not find the companion Errai UI template, mytemplate.html. So let's go ahead and create that template. And you'll see now that the error goes away. But let's do something else here. Let's create a div tag here, and we'll also create this tag called root node. Now when we go back into our template, I want to make this template be part of the subtree that is represented by that root node. So I go ahead in here and I enter this little thing here, and you'll see that we are automatically provided with a suggestion for root node. And you can see I can actually hyperlink on that and jump directly to the root node there. So, okay, so let's go and add our first component to the template. So I'm going to inject a data field, which I'll call my data field. Pretty simple. We've got an error again. We get an error saying that this data field is out of scope, and it's not a descendant of this root node here. So let's go in and rectify that. Let's go and add a new data field into the template. You'll see that the new tooling is actually quite smart. It has recommended that we add my data field here automatically. It knows that this is a missing field in the my template class and sees that we're typing a new data field in the template. So it's automatically suggesting that, and that happens to be exactly what we want. So that's really nice and convenient. So we go back here and everything is once again okay. But, perhaps we want to add an event handler. So if someone clicks on this label, something happens. Let's go ahead and add an event handler. You'll see once again we get automatic completion here for my data field. And I'll go ahead here and I'll create an event handler for onClick. And we'll say click event. Like so, and everything is fine now. So if we take a look at, if we actually go ahead and put a spelling mistake in here, you'll actually see we get an immediate feedback that this is not a data field, that this you can't actually do anything with this, and it will blow up at compile time. So we automatically detect that now. We also do something else interesting too. For an example here, I'll go ahead and comment this out. And you'll see that when I comment this field out, we get this new error here saying that the non-injected data field element is missing sync native. And this, of course, is true. We don't have sync native on there. If you want to connect native DOM events into the DOM into your bean in Errai, you have to use this sync native annotation. And you'll see here that it automatically gives me the option to add that. It also is complaining, of course, that we can't use this click event here in this case, and so we'll go ahead and fix that. And so you can see the tooling here is really, really nice in that it validates based on the required semantics for an Errai UI application. Let's go ahead and undo all of that stuff, and let's go ahead and do something else here. Let's go ahead and create some data model. We'll call it my model, like so. And we'll go ahead and give it a string name, and I'll create some getters and setters for that. If we go back to my template now, and let's inject this model. Use autobound. Data binder. My model. So we type that out, and you'll see immediately we get an error now right in our IDE saying that the model type org_foo my model is not bindable. This is true. everything that we use with the data binding framework has to be bindable. It has to either be specified in the file by using the bindable annotation, or it needs to be specified in the Errai app properties file. And just to show that this both works, I'll do it both ways to show you. We can go ahead here and add, I think, Errai UI bindable types equals org.foo.myModel, like so. And we go back, and you see the error actually went away. It immediately saw that we made that change in the properties file, and everything is okay now. But that's kind of messy. I don't want to do it that way. I don't like using properties files. I merely did that to show you. So I'll go ahead and remove that. The error, of course, returns. But I'm going to go to my model here, and I'm going to add the bindable annotation, and you'll see that the error once again goes away. So let's bind this name attribute here to the label, and we'll do that by saying bound, and I'm going to say property, and you'll see that immediately we once again get code completion. We have a name here, the name attribute from our model, and you can see I can actually hyperlink on that and jump right to that element of the bean. That's another feature which is being added by the Errai UI and data binding elements of the plugin. And just to show you how cool this actually is, I'll go ahead and add another model class. I'll call it my submodel, and we'll make this bindable. And we'll move our name in here. Let's put a name attribute here, and I'll do simple getter and setter. We'll go over to my models, and then let's add my submodel to this, and we'll also go ahead and we'll add the getters and setters for that. And there we go. So let's actually bind my data field to the name in my submodel. So if we get rid of this and we do code completion, you'll see that there's now two elements of the model here that we can complete on. And if I go ahead there, you'll see submodel.name. There we go. I can jump directly to that, or I can jump to here. Now here's a really cool thing. Just as you can see that we can hyperlink on this, and that there's actually some understood semantics by the IDE now about what that property expression means, we can actually do refactoring. Let's change this name field to full name. It asks me if I want to change the getters and setters it found. I say yes. Now we jump over to the model class, and you'll see that it's actually been fully refactored. So we were able to refactor directly from within the property, and this is another feature that the Errai plugin gives you. And so this is just sort of like a little taste of what we're doing here. I'll go ahead and I'll show you something else as well, just to show you how much stuff we're validating here for you. I'll go ahead and add another root for myself. I'll call it another root, and I'll say div data field other field, like so. So this is, of course, not under a root node. It's at the same level. So we're going to go back to my template, and we'll code complete on this, and I'll change this to another root. And you'll see there's problems now. My data field is not a member of that another root, and so we immediately get errors here showing us that these can't be resolved within that. So this new plugin, I think, is going to be for people who use IntelliJ IDEA anyways. Will be able to get nice immediate feedback on the validity of their Errai UI code, as well as data binding other stuff. And so this is just a little preview. This is actually very early. I'm still adding lots of features to it, but I wanted to show people kind of what's coming down the line and see if we can get some feedback on things people would like to see. Of course, I'll have this stuff out there for people to test within the next few days, but that's it for now. And I will now sign off. Sayonara.